Let's rise for the pledge, and then we're also going to have a moment of silence. Keep everyone in public safety and in our armed forces, and certainly those that we honored yesterday in your thoughts. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. All right, today's all about the budget, but certainly all of us were at places yesterday and over the weekend. So I'm going to do Priority Carol this morning because of that. So I know you were at Hampstead, Dick, and Dennis, you were trying to be in front of the band and couldn't be because I wouldn't allow it. And I saw Commissioner Rothstein. So all of us were. So you want to start?
Just say it was at the Westminster Memorial Day Parade yesterday. It was, if I'm not mistaken, it's the longest continuously running Memorial Day Parade in the country. The exact number of years I don't remember. I think it's 127 off the top of my head, but I could be wrong.
No,
it's
152.
150.
Yeah.
Or 152. It was one of those two numbers I couldn't remember which one.
Not that I'm
Okay.
good with numbers.
152. Sure remember that, but okay.
See what it did there?
And you're right about that. But it was a great parade. It's always packed. It's just, what can you say? It's really good. Runs really well. That's about all I can say about it.
Yeah, you look sharp out there.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I wasn't leading the band or anything. But
Well, I
did my
will say
part.
that, I saw several electeds riding.
Yeah.
You, however, Commissioner Frazier, were walking. Enough said.
Really?
Commissioner Rothstein.
Yeah, it was a full weekend of different activities from down Sykesville, the cemetery, Springfield Cemetery. 3 Eagle Scout projects were put together to create a beautiful wall and flagpoles in honoring those interred there in the cemetery, so we were able to do that. A couple other events. I had the opportunity to speak up in New Windsor with Mayor Roop for a small congregation, honoring those again during Memorial Day. I think one of the highlights I would like to share is provide a proclamation for an Eagle Scout down in Sykesville. And this young man is graduating from Liberty High School and will be going to the Ohio State University on a full ride. He's the class president of Liberty High School, and just the opportunity to listen to what he had to say about what Eagle Scouts have done for him and what they're doing for the community really resonated with me, and I walked away chest a little bit farther out, chin a little bit higher, knowing that we have a community of young individuals like that. So shout out to him and to all the Eagle Scouts and Boy Scouts that are out there. Thanks.
Commissioner Weaver.
We do have some outstanding young people in this county.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you recognize them. I just want to thank American Legion Post 200 for their war memorial ceremony yesterday morning. They had a large turnout and phenomenal reception to what was said. I do want to also just mention, I think we have some of our fire departments here have carnivals this week with Gamber and Union Bridge, I believe this week. This is major fundraisers for them, so,
Parade's
take
tomorrow
your
night.
family out to get something, dinner or something, and
Union Bridge
support 'em.
Parade's tomorrow night, 7 o'clock.
Are you in that?
Being led by the world famous, no.
Okay, well, please support those guys if you can.
I spent the weekend doing a lot of kayak and fishing, patronizing Piney Run Park and Monocacy River. Wonderful resources that our county offers. And there was a lot of people out there kayaking, enjoying the weekend. For Memorial Day, I always get on my Harley and ride out to a Civil War battlefield. Went up to Gettysburg. There's great reverence to that soil, and it's always good to go there and soak in the sacrifice of people before us to give us the freedoms we have today. Thank you.
All right, and certainly everybody knows what I did. So, and then I also attended in Tawnytown, which is interesting. A little bit of trivia. That American Legion up there is the Heston Snyder Legion. Both of those individuals were killed serving our country, so that's why that legion's named as it is. And I know you know this, Ed, but a lot of the legions are named after folks that lost their lives. So little bit of trivia came out of that yesterday, but thank you to everyone who participated and honored all those that are no longer with us so that we can sit here and do what we do. Mr. Zaleski, good morning.
Morning. All right, we're at the end of the road. We have 3 things to do today. 1, adopt water and sewer rates. 1, to adopt the property tax rate. And then to adopt the budget ordinance. Just one thing to follow up on before we go to that. We left our discussions last week. You had made a change to proposed Board of Education funding, and we were left to work out the mechanics of exactly what the 6 years would look like after that. You have a piece of paper in front of you with just a little bit of a spreadsheet at the top that shows you the result. So fiscal year 20, as you directed, is up by $1 million from where it had been proposed. We then carried out a uniform 3.126% increase in years 21 through 25. And you can see, as we talked, of course, fiscal year 20 goes up $1 million. Fiscal year 21 also, based on the new smoothing, is higher than planned in the previous plan. But then the next 4 years are all lower than had been planned. In the end, the total 6-year amount of planned funding is, I'm going to say the same, although it's not exactly the same. It's off by $200. It just wasn't worth working out the mechanics to get rid of that last $200. So as things stand now, there is $200 more planned over 6 years than had been.
We gave them an extra $200?
Well, it's only planned.
All right.
So the only number that's a budget for now will be fiscal year 20.
Correct.
So that said, we can move on to your actions.
So I think, Ted, we should do the water and sewer rates first. Was that your plan? And then do the overall third?
Yeah, the water, sewer, then the tax rate, and then
Right,
the
I
budget.
forgot the
ordinance.
tax rate. Yeah, why don't we do it in that order?
All right.
So why don't you give us, is that all right with you guys? We good with that?
Yep.
All right, so we'll do water and sewer, or you want to do tax rate first, Ted?
Water and sewer is fine.
Okay, all right, let's do water and sewer. So remind us again where we are there.
Okay, you're adopting a 3-year plan for water and sewer increases. We read through all the details of that at the public hearing. I can do it again if you would like, although it's a good bit of information. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't, you all need that, or you good?
I think we discussed it thoroughly.
Okay.
Yep. So we would just need your vote to implement the 3-year water and sewer rate increases.
And again, for me, and Ed, I know I don't want to prolong this any more than necessary, but I haven't heard anything out of constituents. And I don't know, Dennis, I know I keep forgetting you and I share the valley right down the middle of the road. And I don't know if you've heard anything, but I haven't heard anything from the valley
Nope.
or Bark Hill. Ed?
It's been minimal. I mean, there's been a few, but
Okay.
overall it's minimal, and I think, again, this is the right reason, or the right action to do.
Done.
Yep.
Okay, and Bark Hill, that's our line, so,
Sometimes the constituents up there get a little confused.
yeah.
I like them under yours, I let you
Yeah,
handle
okay.
it.
All right, with that said, then,
I'll move we approve the 3-year sewer and water plan.
Second.
all right, any other questions or discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay,
Then we have the property tax rate, which is to basically confirm the existing 1.018 per 100 on real property and 2.515 per 100 on personal property.
okay. 1.01, that remains,
Yep.
and so does the 2.151 on personal property, right?
Okay, yeah, Deb just reminded me, and, because of the arrangement we have with what people like to refer to as the rain tax, and we set up the special fund and all, 0.01345 of the real property tax rate will be going to that fund.
Okay.
But it's the same. Everything's the same.
The overall tax rate changes. What goes to the fund changes every year as we calculate actual expenditures, but it doesn't change the taxes that are paid, just the portion that goes to that.
Right, okay.
Is that mandated by state?
No.
Well, it's our agreed arrangement with the state to meet the intent of that law.
This is our rain tax.
Our substitute.
More or
Yeah, our
less.
substitute for it,
Substitute.
yeah, okay.
Okay, so, and this is a good time to, again, remind everyone that we're holding the line here in Carroll. And as you continue to hear what's going on around us, in Baltimore County and Howard County and Anne Arundel County and Montgomery County, we're holding the line here. And I can tell you that of all the folks that I interacted with over the weekend, boy, did I hear the thank yous for that. So I applaud all of you as well for keeping that where it is. And I continue to say, because of Kerwin and what they're going to continue to do, or I will say not do, because that's been a lot of not do's so far. Holding the line this year, I think, is incredibly important, because we have no idea what's coming down the pike.
Well, we've had a very fiscally responsible board here, and I do want to thank everybody on this board, everybody looking at this, and, I mean, we've had a lot of discussions. We've had, don't always agree on things, but boy, have we come together and working on a budget, working on and not touching the tax rate here at this time, holding the line, as you said, and it has been tremendous this year. And I've had a lot of thank yous on that as well, so, thank you, guys.
So you want to do each individual tax rate, or just, do that as a group, Ted? Is there any, your
Remember, I think we probably need to do them each, don't we?
No, it's one ordinance, right?
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
So-
Right, they're all in the same ordinance. So-
Okay.
So, yeah.
I can't, I think we did them all together, I believe,
think
over the
so.
last four, I think.
So I think you could just, vote to accept the property tax ordinance, and that would include the three pieces.
Okay. So I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to accept the property tax ordinance as
Second.
outlined by Ted. Now you
Mr.
try.
Ted.
Second?
Yeah,
Okay.
I thought you were finished.
Any other questions or comments on that item? All in favor?
Aye.
Can't pause so long.
I have
Okay.
to breathe every now and then.
All right. And finally,
And that brings us to the budget ordinance. Again, of course, there's a large collection of numbers that make up this ordinance. The totals will be available online shortly, the full budget document to follow in a couple weeks. Again, I can provide some numbers here if you think something needs to be said. This is all been gone through and released previously, though, with the exception of the $1 million change to
Right.
the school system.
so any need on reviewing any of those numbers from any of my colleagues?
I'm good with it.
All right.
I'll make a motion to pass the budget as written.
Second?
Okay. Any other questions?
No
What
questions, but
comments?
comments.
Comments? Yep. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
I'd just like to say, with the resources we have available, I think we did a tremendous job on the budget. We started in a deficit, as everyone knows. We did what we thought was right. As I mentioned before, I thought we went to go in a different direction, but we didn't, and that's fine. But I think with what we had to work with and the way we went about it, we did it. I don't think we could have done a better job. I really don't. I think we did it. I mean, it was a very hard budget. We all worked through it. I congratulate each and every one of you for having the patience to go through the budget the way that we did. And I think we came up with a good budget. I really do.
Commissioner Rothstein.
Yeah, again, sharing the same sentiment as Commissioner Frazier. I do believe we worked well throughout the work sessions, working to get community input and their insight on, capturing our priorities and ensuring that we maintain the vision for Carroll County, was held true throughout the entire process. I am concerned on some of the decisions we did make. However, collectively, we as a board did make them. Where we are taking accepted risk with economic development, with DPW, with IT, recognizing the concerns with the Board of Education. That process was challenging at times, very deliberate, but I will share I have true faith in our superintendent of schools along with his staff and the Board of Education. So I appreciate their work that they did in educating and leading us also through the process. But it was difficult, and that last session we had last week about finding that $1 million, going, we'll see where it goes, but the expectations I have is it will go to salaries, and a 4.5% total increase in salary, I believe, is a very strong salary increase. If it goes to 5%, that's fantastic. I believe our teachers are worth a whole lot more than that, but we're constrained by the budget we have. So I do think we did the best we could with the information we had. And I applaud all of my fellow commissioners for working on keeping their priorities straight and moving forward. So thanks.
I'm grateful to all the department heads and directors that came before us, pleading their cases and educating me in particular on what is new to me in this budget process. I'm very grateful to my 3 veteran colleagues up here giving me guidance. I must say that this budget gave me the most anxiety on the job, but now my anxiety is subsided. And I'm very grateful to Commissioner Wance for coming up with a creative budget idea to satisfy the need of the school and the teachers. I thought that was brilliant. It came out of nowhere, and I'm very grateful that you came up with that idea and are doing your best to help the school system out. So thank you very much.
Just one extra thought on that. I do hope that our quarterly meetings start and we start to look at our budget and projected budget, their projected budget, and we start bringing these together and take away some of your anxiety in the future, that we start knowing way ahead of time, or best as we can predict, what we have and what is going to be allocated, and take away all the guesswork from everybody. And here again, I do thank the school board for working with us, and I know it was a tough couple weeks there, but if we keep working together on things as both boards, I see everything positive coming for the taxpayers of Carroll County. So here again, thank my board and thank the Board of Education for what they have done.
So finally, for me, while we do, and all of you have put an emphasis on Carroll County Public Schools, I will remind everyone that we have a ton of things that we are responsible for in this county. We have one of the best community colleges anywhere, and we've got to continue to make sure that we support them in what they are doing out there, because they're experiencing the same challenges as many others are. So that's critically important. I know that we made a move to enhance the disability for our law enforcement officers, which I think was incredibly important. I don't know that we've gotten them all the way, but we've gotten them a real good positive step there. And then finally, for me, and I don't want to go down through all of them, but certainly on the public safety theme, we've got a huge challenge ahead of us in the next 3, 4, 5 years here when it comes to our fire and EMS. And the very fact that you all decided to keep that position and a half in there for us moving forward, Fire Chief, is critically important. So I can't say that enough. And I was so glad to see the community come out in support of what was an absurd Carroll County Times article. And boy, did they come out, and I appreciate that as well. And a personal thanks from my district to all of yours. We've got a challenge with the community center at Charles Carroll, and all of you recognize that. I want to specifically thank Commissioner Rothstein as well, because he and I have spent some hours talking about that, and his goal of looking at the entire county, and he has repeatedly said that, is to be commended. And I want to thank you for that. And as a result of that, the folks up there will now have a community center that we're not nickel and diming. And I think that's critically important. Many, many other places that we are responsible for, and I think you all realize that. And next year we'll see where we are. But right now, I think I agree with you, Dick. We're in a good spot right now.
We are.
And, we did the best that we could with what we had, and we've held the line. And I applaud each of you for that. I also want to thank Ted, Deb, and the rest of the staff over there. You all do a yeoman's job of the numbers and putting all that in front of us. This is the most complex and challenging thing that we do. And you guys do a tremendous job at that, and I appreciate that. So, with that said, I've got a motion and second. And I think the way this is going, this might be the first time that this has happened in a couple years. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Wow. Alrighty. Anything else, Ted? Yay? You want to do this, Ted, or anything? Or
No, not my style.
This becomes law next week,
Well, July 1st.
July
Yeah,
1st.
1
Okay.
July.
Or-
Fiscal year.
That budget's adopted now,
Right.
the 30th, right? Has to, by the 30th
Of May.
in May, yeah. Okay.
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 With that said, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Again, unanimous. Aye. Thank you.